Good morning. Good morning. Yes, thank you.
Good morning. So people are just starting to join. We have, I don't know, I think that we have about 20 people that registered. So we're going to give it a few minutes before getting started. Um, when we are waiting, actually, one of the things that, is part of this with the Edge 24, what is part of that will be an opportunity to network with other people who join. So if you don't mind to put in the chat your name and what you do, what is your role, what is your offer, so that already people can get introduced to each other and have a better understanding uh, who does what. Mhm. Oh, I think that we lost Sarah. Did we? Yeah, I think so. Mm. Mm. We sent a reminder to everyone, so that should be soon. I guess that it's lunchtime, and sometimes it's not easy to get off of work to switch to something else. Mm. Um, so, Naren, business lead at Intel Corporation. My goal is to drive Intel power technology in retail store, restaurant, and sport and entertainment industry. Have you been with them for a long time?
Yes, 25 years.
Oh, and what is your goal with LinkedIn, or what is your main challenge right now?
You mean with LinkedIn? Or,
Mm-hmm.
I use LinkedIn um, as, as a way to connect with people. Um, I was just in New York City. I flew back to Phoenix yesterday. It's really coming down to people relationship
Mm-hmm.
in this business, and I'm sure you know this as well. It's really about people connection, and then of course, as much as we are in tech, that takes a second place, but people is first. So LinkedIn is in a way to connect with new people and build partnership relationship. That's what I use LinkedIn for. And of course, challenges, with LinkedIn, I'm sure, you know, it's not easy to connect with anyone or connect with the curated people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and we will talk about this during the session today. We just, getting slowly people joining. DigiPro Academy. Um, we are asking people to put in the chat, your name and what you do, so that everybody can already start networking with other people and understand and meeting each other. Could you do that for us, please? And if you don't mind, just to put your camera on, that would be nice. Mm. No worries. So I don't know if we pronounce your name Jenk. Um, Yes, okay, that's a good start. Is it possible for you to put your camera on? I'm just, trying to engage with everyone and better understand what you are looking for. And before we start, we have about 20 people who registered, but it seems that everybody is late. So I want to give the time to people to join us. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that. Um, what time is it now? Okay. Not everybody is online. Here, what I see. Hmm. Nice meeting you, Jane, and nice to see a face. I will just Arias, would you mind please to send a message to our participants, people who have registered, and just,
Yes.
asking them if they are joining.
Okay.
Just you. So we are just tell them, we are live. Are you joining us? Just to make sure that we are not waiting for people who will not join. So, Cenk, you told us your name. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and what is your challenge or objective with LinkedIn?
Hi everyone. Good morning or afternoon. I don't know what's your time zone, so
Well, I am in New York. We're all over the world, I think. So so it's a mix of the good morning and good evening and good afternoon.
Sure, sure. Thank you for that. By the way, yeah, I do workflow automations and all that. Although my background is very heavy on MarTech, but I also specialize in analytics and AI automations. But one thing that really struck me all this time. It was a line borrowed from someone. This is not my line, okay? But the message is very clear. Um, you're one of those invisible experts. No one cares. Why is it that people have more money than you, but you're smarter than them? That kind of lines.
Mm-hmm.
I can't quite forget that because it's not even my first time hearing that line. I've heard that somewhere in YouTube or in an anime show or whatever. But the line is really the same thing. Why are people who have less expertise than you have more money than you? It's because the and from what I've seen, at least I mean from what I've realized, it's simply because of visibility, or they just talk more, or they overcame of course the problem of the gift of gab, as they say, right? Because the tragedy is for most technical experts is they're not, I mean, I'm talking about myself, right? But I'm sure this includes a very big segment of the population, which includes the technical experts. There's one thing in common for that kind of personality, including me. If you're a technical expert, your brain is just on the technicalities and the mechanics, but you're never focusing on how to connect to people emotionally, how to make them understand what you're talking about. By default, you're going to talk about, oh, XYZ, this is the mechanics of this, blah, blah, blah. No one cares. They can't even understand that, right? That's the first thing. I have to actually, I guess the biggest issue that I had to learn all this time was not any technicalities because that's my default talent, right? The biggest lesson that I learned after all these years was to actually change my language, which is very, very hard. The language, I don't mean English language, okay? The way I have to communicate. No, instead of talking in technicalities, I have to practically erase 100% of the words that I know. I have to use business language or emotional language. The only way for me to connect to people. Otherwise, number one, no one knows, no one cares, right? It just comes down to that, really. But I know it sounds common sense for most people, but that's because those people are very emotionally aware. But for someone like me who is not that gifted on the psychology part, it's so painful. It's so painful. I have to change my language. You can imagine how awkward that is. You change your language.
It
Yeah, she
did.
knows, she has experience with me. It's
Oh,
basically everything you just said, she's been telling me for a while now.
Yeah,
okay.
the thing is, I think that, this shift and we are a bit, drifting away from the Edge 24 right now, but I'll get back to it and we're going to get started. If people are not joining or if they join later, or maybe they are just expecting the recording and they will watch it after. But the thing is that, this emotional thing, it goes to one thing, is to be able to think in terms of putting ourselves in the shoes of someone else, meaning that how can I serve that person? And so which means that you want to be able to tell them something that resonate with them based on what they need. It's just meeting the need. At the end of the day, this is what it is, meeting the need. And I could talk about this for a long period of time because I did it's something else that eventually I will launch, but I did a group that was a private group with about 15 people where I was sharing my research on all the people that make more money, all the people that are really those gurus, very well known with millions of followers. And what I learned from that, because you try to watch them and you try to replicate what they do, this doesn't work. That's not the way to do. You need to understand the framework that is behind it. And the thing that I learned and that I realized is that the people like Russell Brunson, and I don't know if you know those names, but Russell Brunson's, Alex Hormozy, Myron Golden, Amy Porterfield, and I can go on, they are actually all connected together. They all use the same framework when they communicate with people. Their way of selling or pitching, it's all the same. They just use different words. But the framework is the exact same. And not only it is the exact same, and not only they are connected, but in addition to this, many of them have been trained by one of the others. And when you start understanding this, framework, then it becomes easier to shift your language, as you were saying, because then you approach it, you have something that maybe connect better with you because it is a framework, it becomes more logical. Because it's more logical, it's easier to connect this to your own brain because this is more, you have a more technical brain. So then things can fall into place and it can become really your guide in how you communicate. So again, this could be when we did that with another group, it was many weeks, many meetings. I think that we did 12 weeks or something like this. And I was meeting with people every week and sharing all the results of this research. So this can be a very long conversation. But just to understand that at the end of the day, it's a framework. That's what it is. And it is quite simple. But is it easy? Is it because it is simple that it is easy to apply? No, not necessarily. It requires practice. It requires to try to do it again and again. And with my group, the first few times I was telling them, okay, create your post or give me your pitch. And they were off. And I was telling, and it was just like, I don't understand. So there is the understanding it, and then after that, it is owning it. And then after some practice and doing it a few more times, at one point the click came and they were like, oh, I get it. And then you can get, starting to communicate in a different way. Anyway, that was a long answer, but I think, Ariel, we have been noticing everybody that we are live, and okay, so let's get started. We're just a few people, but that's fine. I'm happy to have you. And the first thing that, this is an AMA, so you can interrupt me anytime, ask me question. This is the purpose of this. The Edge 24 Mastermind is starting next Tuesday. And it is limited in the number of people that we will take because we want to be able to give you personalized experience, something that is really related to what you do and to make progress. So the first thing that I would like to do is to tell you my story and to show you my result. I'm saying that I've been increasing in a short period of time my reach on LinkedIn, which was very poor, but I could make this up, right? So I will share my LinkedIn. I'm going to show you. So then you will know that what is the reality. Just before I'm sharing my screen, here is the story. I've been posting on LinkedIn and really not being consistent. That was the first problem. That's the first problem. If you're not consistent, LinkedIn will not really push you and help you. You need to be consistent. Consistent doesn't mean that you need to post 5 days a week. It can be only once a week. And actually, I've been able to increase by posting about once a week because I was too busy to do much more than that. I'm becoming more, present now, but it was not at the time. But my post would have 10 impressions, 4, 20. And it was so frustrating. It was just like, how can I grow my audience if nobody see my post? That doesn't make any sense. And actually, there are rules, depending on your number of followers, the system will show your post to about 25% of the number of followers that you have. And I was at the point where I had 2,000 followers, so it did not make any sense it didn't make any sense to have only this number of impressions for my post. So this really started my investigation, I will say, into how the algorithm works, trying to understand what was going on. And one of the thing, and I'm gonna, you were just telling me I work with automation. Well, we have to be very careful with automation because it is something that will make LinkedIn give you a shadow ban. So, and I had one. That's what I realized. I had been penalized by the LinkedIn without even knowing it because they don't give you any warning. They don't let you know. They just take your impression and just put it down and then nobody see your post. That's simple. Welcome, Shannon. If you don't mind putting, oh, did we lose Shannon? Okay, let's keep going. So that one of the things was that I had added to my account different tools, that are the Chrome extension, like Seamless, like Apollo. Today, LinkedIn is suing those companies for not respecting their rules. And obviously, if you are using tools like this, doesn't mean that we cannot use any AI tool. We will talk about this. But still, we have to be very careful. Any automation is very risky. So, so the first thing I did was to remove completely those tools and to start really posting manually. Doesn't mean I don't work with AI once again, but they are a part of it where I'm doing this manually. And also it allowed me to better understand what was going on. So give me 1 second. I will go to my profile and I will share my screen in a second. Okay, so I just will also, so I have a few notes that I want to make sure that I don't forget anything because I have too many things to tell you today. So let me share the screen first. Yeah, share. So this is the year. This is a full year. And you see here, this is the number, cumulative. If I go to, I'm going to show you the 90 days, show result. Here, it's a little bit before that is the time where I removed the automation and I started to change my approach on how I was interacting with LinkedIn. If you look at here, it tells you here, this is my increase comparing to the previous 90 days for my impression, 358.6. So it's where you can see that we can do something. And if you look at my impressions, goes up and up and up and up and up. And you have here. And then the number of people that I'm reaching. I was reaching the same thing here, 336. So what happens at what point, and we will talk about some of other things that are getting you penalized or that really don't help you. But one of the things that you realize when you get to a point where you are able to increase your impressions, it is that not only your impression increase, meaning the percentage of your followers, because it will give you, I was saying the percentage is based on your number of followers, but it will also start showing you to people that are not in your first degree connection. It will start showing people that have way more followers than you do. So then when you get to that point, it is also to that point where you start getting way more followers. When I started doing this, I had 2,000 followers about here. Now I have 2,500 something followers. I've increased my number of followers by about 500 in about 10 weeks. And the more you start connecting, and there are many other things that you can do. But the first thing is no automation. So you have to be very careful with this. No links in your emails, in your posts, sorry. No links. And everybody knows the trick. Oh, I will put my link in the first comment. Well, this was 2023. 2024 maybe. Now the algorithm detects that and will give you not the penalty on your impression or on your reach will not be as high as if the link was in the post directly, but you will still be penalized. So those little things are important to know. Between you, do you right now use any automation to post your on LinkedIn?
Right now, no. I do everything manually.
Good. Excellent. What about you, Naren?
Yeah, I don't use automation. I firmly believe in non-automation, although I mean this is counterintuitive because I'm a technology guy, work for Intel, but I do believe in writing original, keeping it authentic, and I like to communicate. I mean, I've heard you say, and Cenk also say, talk about empathy and so on. That's where my strength is to communicate in authentic way, and hopefully that resonates with people. So, long story short, I don't use automation for this very reason.
Okay. So, well, which then congratulations on that, because as I said, this is a big issue. But now there is still the same thing. If you are not shadow banned, it's great, but you still want to increase, then there are different things. We have a guide that gives you all the little tricks about what to do, what not to do. That of course our participants will have access to, and then I will show you how it works. Before I'm going to show you our application, the thing is that we have an application that is connected to LinkedIn API. This gives us access to real-time data to be able to know how you're going with your posts and some information. I will show you this in a second. I want to mention that because the other thing that LinkedIn penalize are pods. There are many pods out there, and LinkedIn really even mentioned that publicly at the beginning of the year, saying we will neutralize those pods. The pods are organized, and I've been invited to one recently. About 100 people all connected together in a Slack channel, and they say, you post, I'm going to comment on your post. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. This will get them penalized because it will be detected. And I decline, of course, to join the pod because I know the consequences. And I even told them, I said, no, I'm not joining, and here is why. And so what we have done, the fact that we have access, it means that we had to demonstrate that we are following the rules, that whatever we do will be compliant and is to be accepted by LinkedIn, because they do. I don't know if you ever applied to get access to a LinkedIn API, but they do a manual review. It's not something you go like many other applications, you go up, you get your key for the API and that's it. No, you need to apply, you need to provide the documentation about your company to prove that you're an existing company, that your company is not only alive, but that it is in good shape, recognized as being legitimate, basically. And then they review everything, and then so the first time we applied, actually it was declined. They did not accept. We had to go back and to provide more information, and then they came back and they said, oh, we understand it is for your community because this happens inside our groups, and then they said yes, and they gave us access. So Kim, I'm going to stop sharing because I'm going to switch and you're going to lose me. I will go to our application here. Okay. Okay, so the knowledge builders, we have Knowledge Builders is a platform where people can promote themselves, where they can build a community, private, free, or paid, decide. So what we did is that we created a group inside our platform. That is the Edge 24. This group will be private only for our participants. And this is where you can work, optimize your posts, and track the result. So you see here, I am connected. So we ask you to authorize our application to connect on LinkedIn. We do not post for you. It is, you have to do your own post because we don't want to be the automated application that posts for you. Some of them are not a problem. There are some tools that you can use to make your post. We personally use Predis. It is not a problem if we use this, but generally speaking, I just post myself. You get here, you can analyze a post. You will see that I have some here. So if I go to my LinkedIn, let me go here. I'll go just to my post impressions here. And I don't think that I have this one. There was even a repost. And you go here and you say copy link to post. And then you come back here. You post and then you say fetch result. Hello, Jeff, welcome. And then here you see you have your information. And then you can even see all the data that we are pulling. Where it becomes very interesting is that you are able to see, the comments, how many comments. And what we recommend is to say, when you have a comment, if the comment are not in your first degree, then it is an opportunity to connect with those people. You have the number of likes, and then you can start, I'm going to go back here, you can start comparing your result based on the post. What we also do, because I said at the beginning that our work with you is personalized. So we look at your LinkedIn score, and your LinkedIn score will tell us what you need to work on mainly. So we can give you guidance on how to do and to be able. Every week you can follow this. We have a little leaderboard. Right now it is just Ray and me, of course, because the thing is not started. And every week you share here your post. But the way we want to do this is that we have our own feed here. And then you can post here inside the community. All the group can comment, and you can have some feedback. We meet once a week. So the whole thing is about 1 hour per week. It's not very demanding. You come, you say, this is my post, people react to this, and then there is the meeting. During the meeting, there is action and discussion, and then you can take your post and say, okay, now I have some feedback, I can optimize it, and then you post on LinkedIn, and then you see your result. And we keep going like this for 8 weeks. So you track, you measure all the time. You have your training room where you can see and you can connect with people all the time. And then you can watch how your LinkedIn score is changing, in addition of watching how your impressions are going up and your engagement is going up. Do you have questions or comments?
Yeah, hi Lynn. I guess I showed up a bit late, so I'll ask a question. I missed, I guess, the beginning, so I don't want to ask a question that's not relevant, but I guess who's the key target market for this?
Anyone, I would say, we work mainly with people who are subject matter expert, consultant, coaches, but when it, generally speaking, for the knowledge builders. But for the Edge 24, anyone who really wants to be serious and grow their voice on LinkedIn in 2026, this is a very good way to do this. And I've been showing my result before. Jeff, would you mind to put your camera on and just briefly, tell who you are and what you do?
Sure. I clicked the camera on, but it's not working. Here, let me try something else.
Okay.
So I guess before I do that, one quick other question. Well, I'm fixing my camera. Is these like how many followers would
Do
you
you?
suggest? Like this usually like anybody above 3,000, anybody above like at what level does this kick in terms of making sense?
I would say it's what is more important is you need to be committed to have at least minimum one post per week and have a clear understanding of your audience so that your post can be efficient. The number of followers can be relative, meaning that we can have people that will join and say, I am at 8,000 followers and I just want to increase more. And I think that I know what I'm doing, but I feel that, I could have more help when we start telling them, do you know your score? Do you know what are the rules? Do you know what works? Do you know what doesn't work? Because this is what we explained during the process. And we can have people, I have someone, not everybody showed up here, but I know that in the people who register for the event today, I have some people that have about 400 followers that are really
Okay.
getting started. So that's the point, is to be able to increase. What I was showing before you joined, if I go back to this here, let me just show quickly. And what I was showing, this one here, this is your 7 days. I would just want to show, in my case, my impressions were very low, and I realized that I had been shadow banned by LinkedIn because I had 2,000 followers, and when I was posting, 20 people would see my post, which didn't make any sense. And then I removed the automation that I had, and I started changing my approach. And by changing my approach, this is what I got. And if you look here,
Yeah, I hadn't seen you in a long time, and then when I saw your post, I was like, oh, I'll bump on, but I had not seen anything from you in a long time.
from me, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the algorithm doesn't show you posts to all your followers. It will show it to about 25, 30% of your follower. The thing to know is that sometimes it can be lower and sometimes it can be higher. One of the thing is that it depends on what happens. And I did a post recently explaining, for example, the importance of your title on your hook. Because if I post and then my title, people are, oh, I want to know more, and they click the see more to see the rest of the text, then the algorithm will push you. They say, oh, this is interesting because people are clicking. So that's one of the things. And then after that, it is, do people comment? Do people react? A comment is valued more points than just a like. And this is what we're saying. We cannot be a pod, because when people start posting, have reciprocity, you cannot do that, because then you will be penalized too. But we will work in rotation with a group of people so that you're going to comment of some other people in the group, but you will never comment on the same people, so that we
Oh,
don't get this kind of penalty.
oh, interesting. So if you have a bunch of friends and they're liking your stuff, then it'll catch that basically.
It will.
Interesting. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, many people don't
Interesting.
know. Can you, Iris, can you share your screen? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And can you share your screen just with a few of the metrics that that we have? So yeah, no, they will, and actually they made an announcement this, this year. You see, a like is 1 point, a comment 5 word plus 12 points, a save 20 points, a share 25 points. Those points are, we don't have the exact number of points that LinkedIn use to rate your post. But based on all the research, the ratio between the like, the comment, or the save is pretty accurate.
Interesting.
So that's why it's so important. There are so many things that are so important. And this year, LinkedIn, they made an announcement, and they are suing 2 companies right now, Apollo and Seamless AI, because the people are using them to get emails and things like this. So they post automated posts on their LinkedIn. So those companies are sued, and if you use them, you will have what I had, which your reach will go down completely. Then that's one thing. The other thing that they said now they are detecting the pods. So people are saying, oh, you're going to comment on my post, I'm going to comment on yours. Then they say, we're going to neutralize that.
Interesting.
So this is why it has, and we have been approved with our approach by LinkedIn, which is, I would think that we are one of the rare, if not the only one. But because our system totally follow the rules, we are totally compliant. We are helping each other inside the community. We post manually, and when we comment on other people, we never comment on the same people.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
So, and yeah, so this is what I was showing here in terms of this. And you see here, you see number of people and the increase that I had. And if I go to my my year, look at this here, 6 impression.
Share your screen, then we don't see anything.
You don't see anything? Oh, because
You're not sharing.
I'm not sharing. Okay, sorry about that. You see here, it was just if you go here, 58, 47, 7, 6. It just, and then you see here this is where about here I changed my approach and I got rid of those. And if I go back to my last 90 days that I thought I was showing my screen, it's here. And you see here my increase. And my increase here on the number of people that I'm reaching. 336% versus the prior 90 days.
Basically, if you get penalized, it's terrible.
If you get penalized, or if you just don't have, you don't have enough followers, you don't have and you want to grow, then all of those rules will help you. You don't need to have been penalized in order for this to work. As if you apply this and you follow the system, then you're going to start seeing a growth. The growth is relative of your starting point, of course, but you can really definitely see a growth. And I'm proving it here just by showing you what I've been doing. And I'm not even applying all the things that we're teaching that will give result. Jenk, yes, please come in.
Yeah. I have one question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Roughly around 3 days ago, I posted too closely from my another post. The distance between the two posts was something like uh 6 to 10 hours, because I happened to research that post and format that post using AI. So aside from research and format, okay, I did everything manually. It's my own voice, it's my own thoughts, of course. I'm research. It's just like Google. There's not much difference, right? If you're just researching. And in terms of formatting, because I think I'm not that great in formatting my post, because I can't remember all the best hooks and all the stylized way how you present the words, whether you use bullet points, spacing, the visual aesthetics of a post. So I would use AI for that. But for
That's
everything
okay.
else, yeah.
That is
For
okay.
everything else, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's not, sorry, I interrupted you. You were not done. Keep going.
okay. I'm no worries. My last question is just the distance between the two posts was something like 6 hours. That's it. Although I did the original thought is still mine. Like I said, the only part where I'm using AI is number one, research, number two, formatting. That's it. Aside from that, everything is original. But the distance between the two posts is something like 6 hours. So I noticed the second post was getting an impression something like 1, 2, but the previous
Yeah.
post was something like 300, 600, which is, I was thinking, is this the shadow ban? Because I was posting too fast. Maybe, that triggered it.
It is not recommended to do more than one post per day.
Oh, yeah, I see.
So that's the reason for this is that when you do this, you cut the power of your previous post, meaning that this post could keep being shown, but when you get the other one, then the algorithm will say, okay, I'm going to stop showing this one and I'm going to show the new one. It's like, so you are basically penalizing yourself with that. Now, coming back to your point, is it okay to use AI? I use AI personally, not to post, not to automate my post, but for example, I created a system where with ChatGPT, where every day ChatGPT do research for me on the web on different sources that I gave it. And I say, I want you every day to go there and to give me a report on what is interesting for my audience. And of course, I gave a description of, to GPT. I said, I want you to give me a report of what is interesting for my audience that is trending right now, people are talking about. So, and on Monday, it is one thing, on Tuesday, it's something different, on Wednesday, and I do this from Monday to Friday. Every day I have in my inbox an email from GPT telling me, this is what I found. This is maybe interesting. This is average interesting. This is very interesting for your audience. And then I can use this and say, oh, I'm going to talk about it in my next post. Because now I am on a trend and I am targeting my audience and I don't have time to spend researching myself. So I have this that I'm using. Then after that, I write my post, and sometimes I just write it and I post. Sometimes I write it and I say to AI, okay, can you help me, rephrase this, just improve it or things like this. That's fine. If you take the post from someone else that has been posting, there is a tool called Taplio. Taplio is very borderline to use, meaning that they can automate the post. If you use Taplio, don't use that feature. Just use Taplio to find posts that are trending. And then don't copy them, because AI, the LinkedIn will know if you are basically copying a post from someone else. If you don't change it enough, they will know and they will penalize you. So you want to be able to use this, but to change it in your own word, but you know that it's a topic that has been trending, so you can post about that. So I'm not against AI, far from it. I think that this can change our world, and it can for the best in many, many aspects. In some others, maybe not, but the thing is that you have to know when and how to use AI. Otherwise, it becomes more a problem than a solution for what you do or what you want to achieve.
Much appreciated. Thank you for that.
So you're welcome. We are getting to the conclusion. Jeff, yes, you have been joining later. That's fine. Do you have any questions before? I will give you the link if you want to join the Edge 24. It is starting on next Tuesday. We'll give you the link to register. But before we get that, I will also summarize what is included. But before we get that, Jeff, do you have any question?
No, I'll take a look. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. So let me I did a little quick summary here for you. I'm going to stop sharing and share again because I don't know if you see it. So a quick trip. What do you get if you join? Well, we have every week there is a call and we look at, your case personally and overall, it's about 1 hour per week that you need to dedicate to this. It's not very time consuming. It is just very structured and it makes it easy. You have access to the dashboard, real-time data from LinkedIn on your post. You have access to our community, our platform, the Builder Pro version, which is valued $225. So what I'm telling you is that the Edge 24 is basically free. And then what does it mean, the Builder Pro? It means that we have a database about 3,000, 4,000 email. We will introduce you to everybody in our platform. We will promote you. You're going to have your personal page, SEO index, where you can promote your offer. And all of this is for $180. Why is it so low when many mastermind are in thousands of dollars? Because it's our first one. And we just really want to prove it and make it accessible for as many people as possible. Although we are offering some scholarship seats for younger people who want to start building. And for the paid seat, we don't take more than 24 because I want to make sure that we offer a personalized experience. So Arius, can you put the link in the chat if if they are interested in joining? We also have a small guide, but the guide, of course, doesn't give you access to the network of people and to the support on your posts and comments and so on. But the guide covers a lot of information of what to do, and it is just $30. So it's kind of a cheap price.
Are you starting a new group every 3 months, or how does this work? Because I'm launching my startup in the next couple of weeks, so I'm not sure if I'd be ready to do this in the short term, but I would be interested in this.
Yes, the goal is to start more, but it will not be at the same price. It's
Okay.
we will increase the price. As I said, $180 is really it's really cheap for, I think, the value that we will provide. And I don't know, do you feel that the conversation so far has been useful for you? Yes. Go.
My question. I'm taking other online courses right now. It's just marketing really. Plus some other automations and all that because of course I have to keep up with the times, right? It's just that it's just a time concern. It might be conflicting with this one. Is this a fix? Do you have a deadline or you have a fixed time range wherein you start and then you end at a fixed time period, or is this
Yeah, the goal is we are still gathering the number of people that will join right now. The goal is to start next week for 8 weeks. Again of time, the idea here is what you will need to do. Here is a requirement. There is a playbook that everybody will receive. So you need to have 1 post per week. You post it inside our community and you comment on 4 people, 4 to 5 people max. That's what you need to do. And then you can come to the platform to check your result anytime you want. And it is not an obligation to join the weekly meeting, but it is highly recommended because this is where you can, chat with, well, first review things with me and also to be able to chat with other people. So in terms of time that you need to dedicate, it's very minimal. If you want to dedicate more and do more posts and test more posts, of course you can do that. But the requirement is to say, if you want to see result, you should do at least 1 post per week consistently and comment on other people, because this is how we help each other. And we tell you which people to comment on to avoid this pod, issue that could happen if you keep commenting on the same people.
Okay, got it.
Cool.
So if so to answer your question, will we, if we have a majority of people who are asking to push this to later, we might do that. But right now the plan is really for next week.
Oh, next week, as in what date?
We are Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
All right, this looks interesting. Thanks a lot, Lynn. Sorry I joined late, but gonna jump off and I'll take a look later this week. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeff. So coming back to what you were saying in terms of, right now you have some other things. What would be a good timing for you if this is already too much commitment in terms of time for you?
For the posting, actually, I have no issues with that because, like I said, I could actually post more than once a week. I almost got shadow, I mean, as you, right? I almost shadow banned because I was posting twice a day within 6 hours. So, this would just feel lighter after a month. I just wanted to finish my marketing online courses. That's it. But I was thinking, thankfully I'm able to remember now. Do you have a wait list so that I could add my name if and you could
Okay.
just
Yeah, we can.
oh, there's enough participants for this time range and all that.
Yeah.
You have a wait list. I'm more than interested.
Okay. Okay, yes, we can certainly do that. We will be in touch with you and making sure that you are on the list. And we will keep you posted, about what we do and what is happening.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seriously considering this. I just wanted to finish my marketing course because
I'm curious, what is your course?
That online one. I'm not promoting it because I'm the student there. I'm not doing that. So it's just for marketing courses plus a few Coursera courses as well for automation as well.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm getting 2 to 3 courses. I'm not going to add the 4th one because it's impossible already. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Be careful with I'm a strategist and I have years of practice in marketing, and I've been working with large corporation and small business both. Just be careful in the marketing to make sure that sorry, miss again. I've been talking too much. Be sure that you can understand the difference in marketing when you market for a brand that is established versus a small company, because it is different. A small company, especially, I'm talking about, let's say, something like less than 15, 20 employees or something like this. It's almost like an individual marketing. It's almost like, promoting a personal brand comparing to what you do for a large company. I as I said, I did both, and I take a different approach depending on who I'm working with, because I've been working with L'Oreal, I've been working with Samsung, I've been working the approach when you do something for them, comparing if I'm working for a small company that has 20, 30, 40 employees, it's very different. Just keep that in mind in your courses.
I agree. I agree. Point taken. Thank you for that. Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure. We will send the recording, and we will be in touch for the waitlist.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.